Hey, everybody, it's me, Jamey Hammond, with Fifth on the Daily. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Just obviously, for those of you who realized we have not had 2 episodes, one was not posted on Friday or Monday, and that is simply because, honestly, I'm thinking about going on a month-long little break here just to spend some time with the Lord for myself, just to get some wisdom on some things that I want to do with this podcast, some things that I want to do with the episodes. For instance, do I want to make this? Is this something that should be made into a weekly podcast? Personally, I don't know really what I'm leaning towards because I like the freshness of doing it every day. I think that it just, not that it allows God to speak in any different way or anything like that, but I just like the freshness to an everyday episode, an everyday something just that God is wanting to say to people in their specific situations. And so I apologize really for not giving, I didn't give much of a heads up, especially if you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. You were probably just like, what is going on? Did something happen to him? Is he okay? And I am okay. But as of next week, I'm thinking about taking probably a month-long break just to get away, just to seek the Lord for myself and just come back with some fresh things. But I can tell you what, this podcast will not stop. I might take a 1 month-long break, but this is something that I firmly believe God told me to do, and I'm going to keep doing it because I believe that I pray that it's helping you. I pray that it's encouraging you. I pray that it's something, I just want it to help you. You know, I want this to change things in your life. I want you to grow in your relationship and in your knowledge of Jesus. I want you to know him more. I want you to know him better. I want you to know his love for you, know his grace towards you, know more about what he did at the cross for you. I just want it to help you. And so I can tell you what, this podcast will not stop. As long as God allows me to keep doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. So keep praying for me, just for the wisdom, because I really take this seriously. I don't just want to flippantly do something ever. I take this seriously. I don't take this for granted. This is an honor to be able to talk about what Jesus did at the cross for us. I mean, this is the gospel. Paul says something kind of remarkable to me. In 1 Timothy, we talked about it on Thursday, I believe. He says something. He says, the gospel, this gospel that we have of the blessed God, that God has entrusted me with. Isn't that amazing that God would trust us with something? That God would trust someone so fallible. That God would trust someone so perhaps not trustworthy. That's a gracious God who would trust us with this. It's not that we're entitled to this message. We're entrusted with this message. God trusts us with this. And so I don't take this for granted. I take this very seriously. And with that being said, just please keep me in your prayers. Please keep me in your prayers just for wisdom for me, because I want to help people. I want to preach the truth. I want this to get out to as many people as we possibly can, and I can't do it by myself. I need you. I need your prayers. I need your supply, and I just thank you. Seriously, I cannot thank those of you who have supported me so much and supported this so much more than I could have ever thought. And I can't thank you enough. I believe that God will reward you. And that I'm eternally grateful. I can't tell you how thankful I am. So with that being said, keep sharing, keep supporting. And I just believe God's going to keep using this. He's going to keep using it. So with that being said, I just want to jump into what we want to talk about today. Out of Isaiah chapter 26, it's a verse that really, there was a time in my life where I spent a lot of time meditating on it. I spent some time really chewing on this and thinking about it and picking it apart, but I haven't revisited it for a while until today. When I read this verse, Isaiah chapter 26, beautiful verse. It says, chapter 26, verse 3, you will keep him in perfect peace. Perfect peace. Not just peace, perfect peace. Actually, in Hebrew, that word, it's not necessarily perfect peace. It's just the word, in order to increase the emphasis or the strength of a word, it will almost as if they say the word twice. So it could be said that it's translated as you will keep him, you'll guard him in peace. It's almost a double peace. It's a perfect peace. Complete peace. And now what is complete peace? Peace is that word shalom, which means complete and entire wholeness in every area of your life. Imagine that, being kept in perfect, complete wholeness, entire wholeness, perfect wholeness in your marriage. Imagine that, perfect wholeness in your bank account. Imagine perfect wholeness in your relationships. Imagine perfect wholeness in your mind and in your emotions and the way you react to things. Imagine living life in perfect harmony and wholeness. He's about to tell us how. First thing you need to know is that it's possible. First thing you need to know is that with God, that is something that is possible for you. This is not some wishful dream that, oh, if only. Perfect peace. It sounds so wishful and so dreamy. No, this is a promise from God. This is a promise. He says, you will keep him. The Lord will keep or guard you in perfect wholeness. Look at this. For who this promise is for. Whose mind is stayed on you. And I looked at that word. It says, whose mind, you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed. That word stayed on you, stayed on the Lord, is actually the word to rest or to lean on in Hebrew. Wow. So I will keep him, the Lord says. I will keep you in perfect peace as long as your mind is rested on me. The less you worry, the less you're anxious, the less you're all knotted up. I dealt with that this weekend. Have you ever just been anxious and you don't know what you're anxious about? You just feel all knotted up. You feel so burdened and heavy, and you just feel, you don't even know why. But I found when I put my mind at rest in who Jesus is, and essentially it tells us how to put it at rest. He says, whose mind is rested on you because he trusts in you. Never forget that resting in God is trusting in God. The greatest expression of trusting in God is resting in God. It's leaning back. It's putting your feet up. I would put my feet up, but I can't. I'm not very flexible right now. but it's reclining in who Jesus is. It's leaning back. It's leaning on his love. Just like at the Last Supper, we see Jesus, he's giving his final words to his disciples. And we have this random, almost funny detail in the book of John, where John the apostle, John the disciple says, and the disciple whom Jesus loved leaned on Jesus' bosom, leaned on his chest. It's almost funny to think of that. Like John, he's the youngest of all of them. The youngest one, and I guess you kind of imagine him being a little bit of a pretty boy. Just by the way he talks, the way he says some things, like when him and Peter were running to Jesus' tomb, and it says, the disciple whom Jesus loved outran Peter. I mean, it's so funny, like, what? Why did you say that? But it's interesting. It's a picture, because John, the disciple, was the only disciple never to be crucified, never to be martyred. He died in a peaceful old age. They literally couldn't kill him. They tried to boil him in oil. Historically recorded, John tried to boil him in oil, wouldn't kill him. Tried everything to kill this man, but he's unkillable. So what they do is they just ship him off to some island, and he writes the book of Revelation. God still uses him, and it's just funny. He dies of some peaceful old age. But John had a secret, folks. John, what an example of perfect wholeness. He was so whole that he was unbreakable. Man, that is for some people out there. Perfect peace is unbreakable. You can't break perfect wholeness. You can't separate it. You can't tear it to pieces. It's perfect wholeness. It's sturdy. It's tough. And John lived in this. But John, look at what he did. At the Last Supper, we see the disciple whom Jesus loved leaning on Jesus' chest. Now remember, the Bible never just fills space. God does not ever fill space with random details in the Bible that mean nothing. This is a picture of something. He's leaning on Jesus' chest. He's reclining on it. He's laying on it, laying his head. Really a picture. What's the chest a picture of? It's where the heart is. It's where love is. And all through the Bible, lots of times when you find, especially in the Old Testament, something being referred to, ever a chest being referred to, or a heart, it's a place of love. It's symbolic of the place of love. So we see John leaning on Jesus' heart for him. John resting his head on Jesus' love for him. And he was kept in perfect peace, unbreakable peace, because he leaned his head. He leaned. We always see him referring to himself, the disciple whom Jesus loved. It wasn't that Jesus actually loved him more. It was that he was practicing leaning on Jesus' love for him. And he was unkillable. He could not be killed. Unbreakable. Perfect peace. And how funny, at the Last Supper, we find him having his mind rested on Jesus. Today, I encourage you just to rest on Jesus' love for you. He wants good things for you. He delights in surprising you with good things. He delights in healing you, blessing you, encouraging you, lifting you up, fulfilling everything that's on your heart. Everything is going to be great. And I tell you what, when you rest your mind on who Jesus is, when you stop worrying, stop being so anxious, God will keep you in an unbreakable wholeness, perfect peace. Do you mind if I pray with you today? so that you would live today in perfect peace as your mind rests on Jesus' love for you. Let me pray with you. Father, I thank you for your love for us, that truly today we rest on your love for us. We thank you that your love is bigger than any problem we will ever face. And everything in our lives is going to turn out better than we think, because you're good and we trust in you. And we just put our minds at rest. Give us rest, Jesus. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope my shoes don't have any gum on them. I can't really see. The camera lens is blocking it. Hey, I'm getting my hair done today, so don't be surprised that it's not a stranger sitting in the chair tomorrow. This is still me. Hey, if you want to contact me, or questions, or anything like that, I haven't gotten an email in a little bit, probably in the past week. I'm surprised. So hit me up. Give me questions. Talk to me. Give me testimonies. Give me anything. Questions. Something that you'd like me to answer on the show. I'd love to. If you want to do that, email me at fifth, and that's with a 5, fifthdaily@gmail.com, or DM me. I promise I did not just cuss. DM me at, I'm saying DM, direct message me at oh my goodness, direct message me at Jamey Hammond 3. I thought this was a Christian podcast. I did not just cuss, okay? Because I would never do that. Never in my whole life have I ever cussed. God forbid. That would make me just goodness. I'm sorry. It sounded so much. It's so funny. Anyway, I'm sorry. Hit me up on Twitter. DM me at jhammond3 with 3 I's. Or hit me up on Instagram. Honestly, you can't really hit me up on Instagram unless you direct message me there, but not many people do that. Actually, more people are starting to do that, so that's okay, yeah. Or direct message me on Instagram. Check me out. And I'll follow you back. Maybe. If you post good things that make me laugh. If you post pictures of food, I'm not going to follow you. Okay? I don't care what your breakfast bacon bits are. I want to see your face like normal people do in photos. So thank you. Much appreciated for that, for Instagram. But anyway, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm running out of time here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Jamey Hammond with Fifth on the Daily. Have a happy Tuesday. Have a great day today. Enjoy life. Enjoy Jesus. Rest on his love today, and he'll keep you in perfect peace. I'm Jamey Hammond with Fifth on the Daily. God bless you, and have a wonderful day.